All right, so we'll start with a fresh conversation. And the
Cool.
problem that we had last time is because uh, we have a special protocol for creating conversation, and my guys in Ukraine changed something with the actions, and that's why once we added an action, something went wrong at the same time. But we
Okay.
fi- we figured that out and fix it, and we tried to fix everything really, really fast. So day after we talked, it was already fixed.
Yeah, cool.
Right. So um, I didn't talk last time on the top menu because, and it's really important to say a few words about it. So I'll do it now. Now we're more calm because we only have the bot, so I feel really nice talking only about this section. So
Cool.
first of all, you have a name, and it's better if you change it, but you have a default name with it's just a sequence number that just increment by one, but you can just change it to whatever you want, and then you need to select one of the pages. Once you grant access, we show here all the pages that you have access to as an admin.
So those will all be the client pages, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
And then a trigger is like the trigger for the conversation, where payload is the default one, and payload means like it's like no trigger. Well, I will explain it in more details in a second, but basically you should know that payload is like you don't have a trigger, but every conversation, even though it doesn't have a trigger, it has a payload. So this one is the payload of the conversation, and it is being used, it can be used on Facebook advertising. When you create an ad, then you can add a payload, and then Facebook knows which conversation to load. But
Okay.
I do not recommend to use it because we have a better way to do it because this do it using a payload has some limitation. I won't get into it a lot, but it's easier and better to use get.json, which you also have on managers, so you probably know this stuff. So every conversation has a get.json, so you can just click on the get.json. Now it should be empty, but so it won't work. But once I'll start a conversation, you will have a get.json, and then you can just copy it. I will show it to you how you do it. So
Cool.
the only thing you need to know that it's payload. It's when you want to work on a conversation, and then you don't want to have any trigger at this point.
Cool.
You also have triggers like specific text. So you can say, okay, I want this conversation to be triggered when someone write the word "hey." Okay, and
Okay.
then when someone types "hey," this conversation will be triggered. The warning message that you saw a second ago was because we can test. You see, we have here on the right side we have the chat now, so we can't test the specific text in the embedded chatbot. So if you want to test it, so let's say have conversation that is hi there, right? So we can test it here, and you see it in the embedded. Oh, sorry. Because it jumps all the time with Facebook notification. I need to remove it. Okay. So you see that I did hider and then click test. So you see the hider here. But if I type here, hey, it will not work because in the embedded conversation, you can test the specific text. We intentionally did it because we don't want anyone that has access to this page. It's a matter of security. So you can just, if you want to test specific text trigger, you should work on the target page. Okay. And
Okay.
then you can just go to, let's go to the Facebook, and then go to the specific page, which called, I think, just testing. Yeah, this is the one. And can you see it? Can you see that I'm on Facebook page?
No, I've still got
Uh,
the
right. I think I
chat
did.
screen.
I need to share the whole computer. Let me see how I do it. maybe this way.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. So now I'm in a conversation with this page. I hope that I'm on the right page, and then I write hey, and this you see triggers the conversation with the hider, which is exactly the conversation that I had. Okay. Can you see now?
Yeah, I've just pulled over to a bigger screen just so I can see it clearly.
Can,
Cool.
can can you see now the Quantify Ninja page, or do you
Yes,
still?
I can see the Quantify Ninja page right now.
Right. And when I move now to Facebook, can you see Facebook?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So you see that I typed hey, and it triggers this conversation because it triggers by a specific text. But
Yeah.
you can also set default text, which means actually any text. So you can set a conversation to be triggered for any text. And the last one is get started. So get started is basically if you want to trigger a conversation when someone goes to your page and click on send message, like actively go to your page and click on the send message. So if you go to a specific page on Facebook, you have a send message button. I can do that on my page because you can't see this button when you are the admin. So you need to do it with a different profile if you want to check it. But
Yeah.
you can also check it if you want to check it. You can also just delete the conversation, and then once you delete the conversation and you search for this page, then you will have a get started button. So this is actually the same. If you click on send message on the page, you can just click get started. This is the same. It will not do anything because we didn't set that we didn't save it before we did it. So now if we do it again, it will trigger this conversation. But so what you need to know, usually people most people use only payload, and then they use the get JSON to trigger this conversation from Facebook ads.
Okay.
So if I have this conversation, I think I can already go to the, because it's such a simple conversation. The JSON is very very short, so you can just copy this, okay, and then it
Yeah.
copied to clipboard, and then you can go to Facebook, and then on the ad settings you have a place to set the JSON. If you want,
Okay.
I can show it to you later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so in any text component, basically I would recommend to work on a full screen. It's easier. So you
Cool.
have a full screen, and then on any text you have a plus sign. Actually, on every component you have a plus sign to set any configurations or variables. So in the variables, you can set the buyer name if you want to say, I don't know, hi Inon, for example. So
Sure.
let's set the buyer first name. I will turn on to test on this page just because it's easier instead of going back and forth to Facebook.
Of course.
And then every test you make, you will see the name of the customer instead of just you can
Yeah.
personalize the way you
Personalize
want,
it.
right? And
Cool.
then you can as you have a coupon code, of course, but I wouldn't recommend use any variable or coupon code as the first message,
Yeah.
because when you set an ad and you take the JSON and tell Facebook to start a conversation, they do not. You can't do that as with the JSON. You can do that.
Right.
It's a Facebook limitation, by the way. It's not our limitation. It's a Facebook limitation. So so you can set here a text. So you can say hi there, and then you can have buttons. These are the simple ones. You can say anything you want. I don't know, good and bad. And then of course you can always test it. Um, see, let me just see why does it work. And every conversation, by the way, has its own link. Okay, So if you have here, if you want to send someone the conversation, you can just click on this link, and then when you click it, it opens the conversation. It opens the specific conversation. Okay, so in this case, it'll take a second. You see the hider
Yeah.
with the good and bad that we have just created. If because I'm already subscriber for this page, the conversation started right away. But if I wasn't, I would have seen a get started button, and
Yeah.
when I click it, it would start the conversation directly.
Cool.
Okay. So let's go back. Where is it? Where is? Oh, sorry. Just one second. I can't click on the on the tabs because I have the right now. I managed to click on the tab. Okay, so let me see because embedded testers. Wait, I'm not on the right screen, am I? It's not the right. It's not the one that I just worked on it a second ago.
No,
I'm working on too many tabs.
I know
Okay.
that happens to me all the time.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay. This is the one. Yeah. Okay. So what if you work on multiple tabs, you might have problems with the testers
Yeah.
because each one, and that's what I'm having now, and that's why when I click now on test here, I don't know if it works here. Okay.
Yeah,
Now it.
I think the key is maybe just to have literally this open when I'm creating the
Okay.
chat
So
flow.
right. So every button, you can also tag it. So let's say that if you offer a coupon code, so let's right, would you like a coupon code, right?
Yeah.
If he says yes, right, so you want to tag him as someone who said yes, so you can just click on the plus again and then click on tag, and then I don't know, let's give it a new name. I have multiple tags, but let's give it a name. I don't know, Luke tagged. Okay, and then I'm adding this tag to the system, and then it is selected. I just do save, and you can see that it has like a circle about on the plus. It means that it is, and you can also see the tag. If you hover it, you will see that the tag name is Luke tagged. And then anyone who clicks this button, so let's save it and test, and I'll show you that. Right. So, but also tagging. Also, when you click on the yes button, then you will be tagged directly with look tagged. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if I go now to subscriber list, then basically you should see me tagged on this page, but you will not see it right now because we do it on the test inside on the embedded chatbot. This one is again, if you want to test the tagging, then you should also test it on the target because the tagging is for the specific page that you are working on, right? And
Right.
the embedded one is like ours. So let's do it. If I click on test now, then uh, then let's go back to here, I think. Yeah, okay. So let's click on yes, and then now I should be tagged in my page in just testing. I should be tagged with the look tagged, right? So if I go now to subscriber list and I go now to this page, I will just filter so it will be easier to see. And now we have here, how do I remove it? So you can see that I'm tagged with look tagged. Can you see that?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I'm also tagged with taking my coupon because it's a different tag that I was tagged earlier. But you can see here like thousands of tags for each person, right?
So then
And
you can. So is that with the idea of putting them in their own separate group that you can then target them later?
yeah, so if I want to, I can just say, okay, let's take look tag, and let's just find it here somewhere. Here it is. So let's just take this tag, and now let's say that I have, I don't know, 50 people. I can just I can set a conversation, select a specific conversation, and just broadcast them. Okay. So in this case, if they took a coupon code, then a broadcast would be probably to ask them how was the product and if they are
Yeah,
willing
yeah.
to share a review, right?
And that's just a fresh message that just goes out to their messenger.
Yes. This one
Yeah.
is a fresh message that goes immediately.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Right. So let's go back to the conversation. Then let's say they say yes, you want to give them a coupon code, right? So I will add another text. Whenever I stand on a button, it's like I want to continue the flow from this button.
Yeah.
So I click on the button and then I clicked on test, and then I will write here is your coupon code. Now you can see on the left side, it's like the map of the conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and you can also click on it and it will take you to the right place. Now, if you can see that when I click on bed here or here, it's the same, it does the same thing, but it doesn't show you the flow under the yes. Okay, only when you
No.
click on the yes, you will see the flow under the yes.
Cool.
But you can see it, the flow, like if you click on yes and you want to see the flow on the bed, you can either click on the bed or look on the left side to see
Yeah.
the flow. So you write here is your coupon, and then you can just add a coupon code from here, and then
Gotcha.
just take any coupons that you've pre-uploaded in the coupon section.
Okay, so yeah, I was going to say, so those are all pre-uploaded coupons down on the left-hand side. I can see that.
Yes, yes.
Cool.
And then you want to see how it is done. It's really easy. So
Yeah, yeah.
you only need to go to coupons and then upload new coupon. You just give it a name.
Oh,
So
great.
give it a name. Look, you can set an expiration date. Okay, this is the expiration date that you set on Amazon when you
Yeah.
took the coupons.
You don't even need
And
to upload a file or anything. It's just
yes,
yeah,
so you need to select the coupon. It's a text file.
text file. Okay.
Okay. I think I have here 1,000 coupons here, and then I just click save. And now when you see we have 1,000 coupon codes, I can just click next, see the coupons, or use it.
Yeah.
Now if I go to the conversation, I can select, if I remove this one, let's remove this text, I'll create another one. Here is your coupon, and then I can just select the new one. So here it is, and save. And that's it. Now I can already test it.
Cool.
Right.
So
So
if you've got like 1,000 of those and and this is just to one customer,
yes.
once you've linked that coupon code to that text box, does that make that coupon code obviously non-usable again?
Yes. Can you repeat your question, please?
Yeah, so obviously that's one coupon code out of 1,000, isn't it? So once you attach that coupon code to the text box,
Mm-hmm.
does that then make that coupon code unusable again in another conversation that you might have potentially?
Right, right. It always take only one coupon code, and then every conversation will have a different coupon code.
Cool. Okay.
Right. Um, it's more than that. It's even more than that, because now you see that when I clicked yes, it grabbed one coupon, but the button has gone, right? We
Yeah,
had
yeah.
the yes button, it is gone. But you can also have, let's say, a generic template, right? So a generic template is like a component that has an image. So let me take just an image, for example. Which let's take just an okay, so image should be less than 2 mega. It's for your own sake, by the way, because more than 2 mega it just takes too
Yeah,
much time to load on
yeah.
Facebook.
No,
So
that's
I'm
cool.
taking an image, and then
Any size, for that it has to be any size, pixel size
no,
resolution.
it used to be, but now Facebook handles most of the images correctly. So this one, for example, if you see, it doesn't look good here, but if you test it, it will look. I think it will look good. So let's try it for a second. So I'm just clicking bed.
Do you have a best practice size that you suggest?
Yes. For images, there's. I can give it to you later. I can't
Yeah,
remember
that's
by
cool.
heart now. But anyway, you can just click on the image, and then this is a title and a subtitle that you can change. And here, if you have tell the user click here to get a coupon code,
Mm,
then let's say when he clicks it, you see I click the button and then click the text, means that the text goes after the user clicks the coupon button.
yeah.
So here it is, and then let's add the coupon. And what I try to show you that it's different than giving a coupon like we did from this flow. And let's do a test, and I'll show you why it's different. So now if I click on bed, it will should show me right this component. And when I click on coupon, so you see the difference is that the button did not disappear. So in this case, when I clicked yes, I could not click on yes again
Yeah,
because the button disappeared. Here in this scenario, the button did not disappear and I can click again. Okay.
yeah.
But as you can see, I'm sorry about all those notifications. As you can see, um, the coupon code, however, stays the same.
Yes.
So it's smarter than just giving up
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time a coupon because it knows that
You're on
that
one conversation, so it's not going to give out multiple
right,
coupon codes.
right.
Yeah.
But um, but we cannot know that if you want to give for a customer, for example, 2 coupons, like one today and in a week now, maybe you created another conversation. So we don't want to prevent users from getting 2 coupons. So what we do is actually we save the fact that we gave coupon to this in this conversation for about, I don't know, 10 minutes, and
Okay.
then but users usually doesn't know, but if they do, they can go here again after 10 minutes, just scroll up and then they click coupon and they get a new one.
Gotcha.
So this is a limitation, but it's better than having a coupon every time a different coupon, which you probably have this problem when you work with ManyChat and Zapier. Um, and then here you can tag the button as well, by the way, of course. So
Cool.
if you want to, you can tag and just click tag and then select any tag. Okay. If you want to add buttons, you see there's just one button here, but you can add another button. So you can just click here or here. You can do it
Gotcha.
both from here and here, and you can add up to 3 buttons. This is basically again Facebook limitation because they can give you up to 3 buttons in a generic. It is called a generic template, so
Yeah.
you can add up to 3 buttons. And the button could be not just a button; it could also be. So this one, for example, is a button with which has a text after, but you can also set a button to be a URL button. So if I
Okay.
click here HTTPS and I don't know quantifyninja.com and then I click save, then this button leads to my website in this
Okay.
scenario. So if I click test and bed, then you see okay, well, I didn't give it a name, but the second one should go to the web page. So if I click it, I don't know if you see it, but I move to
Yeah.
my web page.
Gotcha.
But there's a limitation on this URL button. and the limitation is again Facebook limitation. When you set a URL button, you can't continue the flow of the conversation. So because we don't get the notification when someone clicks on this button. So if they click this button, we can't tag the user for clicking this button, and you can't continue the conversation. If you click on this button and then on text, it should not work. I don't know if yeah, right. It doesn't gives you.
Okay.
It gives the wrong message, by the way.
Because you're taking them away from Facebook anyway, aren't you? So
yeah. If you set a URL button, you can't continue the flow from this button. You have to continue the flow from a different button. Okay. So actions. If someone clicks, so let's call this button actions test, and then you have multiple actions options. So one of them is, let's start with the most common, is the typing status. So you might want to set a typing status to make the conversation more humanized, let's say, let's call it. So when you click on typing status, you can just set how much time you want this conversation, how much time you want the typing status. But of course, it doesn't have a meaning if you don't add something afterwards, because you don't want to have just typing status and then that's it. So let's say it's been, I think I set 4 seconds. It's been 4 seconds, and then just let's see how it works. So it starts basically the conversation from start. Okay, so we click on the bed, and it will show up the generic template, and then I click the action test, and it shows, as you can see, the typing status for 4 seconds, and then it's been 4 seconds.
Cool.
Okay. All right, so another option would be to set a delay. A delay, it's like just waiting if you want to, and then subscribe or unsubscribe. Now, what does it mean, subscribe or unsubscribe? If someone talks to the bot, have any interaction, like if he clicked any button, he's your subscriber, okay? But if you want to let him unsubscribe from a service, then you can put this action as unsubscribe. So if you can tell him unsubscribe me, for example, and then when he clicks it, you just do this action and unsubscribe. So if he has unsubscribed, then you can also give him the option to subscribe. But usually, what people usually do is that if the customer has unsubscribed, then usually what you want to do is just add another template here, okay, and then put here an image of I miss you or something.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just taking just an image, and then give him the option to subscribe again. So click here, subscribe.
Can you offer them a coupon code to subscribe?
You can if you want to, but what I want to show you that is after he has unsubscribed, you send him one last message, and then you can tell him if you ever want to subscribe again.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what's special about the generic template is, as you can see, that the buttons never goes away. So if he gets this message, okay, and then after subscribe, you add the action to subscribe. You click on subscribe, and that's it. So now let's do the test to see how it goes. So let's go with the bed flow. So now let's say that you're telling the user, okay, if you want to unsubscribe, so let's say he clicked on unsubscribe me, and then you send him one last, ignore the images, you send him one last template, and then if you ever want to subscribe again, just click on subscribe, and that's it. Now he is unsubscribed, but you just give him the option to subscribe again, and this will never go away. If he goes to the chat, he can always go and click this option, and then user is subscribed again. You can, of course, add here text like "thank you for subscribing again" or something.
Cool.
Because now we just subscribe him, but there's no message here that he was subscribed. Okay. Right. So that's about templates and actions. Oh, one more thing. I'm sorry. There's trigger conversation. Okay, so if you have multiple conversations and you want to trigger another conversation from a different conversation, you can do it from here. So let's say that after subscription, you can not only, okay, it's not a good example to do it from here, but let's say that you subscribe him and then you want to add another action, and the other action would be to trigger a different conversation. So you can just select any conversation. I don't know if this conversation is valid. Let's see. Let's take a conversation that I know that has something. I hope that this one is not empty. And then in this scenario, if I do even save, I think I can even operate it from here. Don't even have to do the test. You see that it subscribed me and then trigger a conversation that in the other conversation, it starts with either customer name with buttons. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it clear, or do you need me to?
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be. It'll be a lot easier when I'm on there and I'm playing around with it to create a flow and seeing all the buttons and what they do. I can test everything that way. That's cool.
Okay.
What happens if you've got a flow going, a flow sequence, and then the customer types in something that is not related to what you've asked them and falls out the sequence? Is there a way of bringing them back without doing it manually?
So we don't have currently anything that if customers writing something, but if you have generic templates, then you can the user can always scroll up and click the buttons again. But if you have anything in mind that you think that can be better, just let me know, because I spoke by the way with Facebook. One of the problems we have with our bot is that you never know when the user stops writing, right? So if you, let's say that you're asking his email, you don't have a layout inside the chat that he can fill up the details. So actually Facebook told me that they are working on something similar, so I'm waiting for their support. I don't want to do something just for because they are probably add something that will help us to capture the text of the user. So currently we don't have anything, but if you have something in mind, just let me know and we can try to add it. So right. So at the bottom, I just didn't say that, but when you start working, if you want to work like I do now in the embedded chatbot, then at the first time you will have here no testers. Currently, you see testers is me, but you will have no tester. So you will need to add a tester. You will click here, and then just copy this text to here, to the message, and then the system will tell you that you're now a tester, and then you can start. When you click got it, it will refresh the list automatically, and you will see your name. If you with Layden work or with anyone else, you can add more than one person. So so when you open this page and you try to test, make sure that your name appears here. Our system is smart enough, so it guesses who's the tester. It guesses by multiple factors, but sometimes it's wrong.
Okay.
So just make sure that you are, if there's more than one, just make sure that the right person is the tester. Otherwise, the other one will get the notifications when you click on test.
Cool. Yeah.
All right. So this is about creating conversation. Now, auto response. So auto response is like when you create a post on your page, and you want the messenger to pop up if someone typed a specific text. So let's see how it goes. I'll just go to my page. Let's just take this one because I don't know, we can take any page, but this one has posts, so it's easier to work on this one.
Yeah.
So Facebook business pages loads very slow, by the way, every time. I don't know why, but they work really, really slow. So when you wait for the post, you can wait for maybe, I don't know if it's on your end, it's also like this, but anyway.
Yeah, it can take a while.
Okay, so you can see here there's lots of posts here.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you go to Quantify Ninja, then let's create a new auto response, and we'll give it a name. So let's take your name again. Sorry, that's the only
All right.
name that pops in my mind. And then let's give it a keyword. So a keyword would be I don't know. Let's call it happy. Okay,
Okay.
and the message would be the message that you want to the system to pops up in the messenger. So what it means is when the user type the word happy, the system cannot start a conversation. We can only send him a message, only text message.
Okay.
Conversation can start only when there's an interaction with the user. Like, so if he types something, then you can start a conversation. But as long as he didn't type anything, only comment on a post, it doesn't consider even as a conversation. It's like it's even called a private message on Facebook.
Right.
So
Okay.
what you usually want to do, it's like ManyChat explains it a lot. What you really want to do, you want to try to convince the user to type something. So
Yes.
you can tell him, I don't know, type a coupon to get your coupon code. Okay.
Cool.
So this would be the message, and then you select the page again if you have one page and there. But I took this one for example, and then you select the post as well because it is per post. So let's take let's take this one. Keep safe in your home or something. I don't want to take this one because this one already has one as a conversation attached to it. And then save. And once it is saved, then you can see, right, this is the one. You see it names Luke, and the keyword is happy. And the post starts with I'm sorry, this is the not post preview. This is the text that will be triggered.
Yeah.
So let's go to the messenger, and then I think it was keep safe something, right? Let's find this post. Keep safe. Just a second. Where is it? Oh man, where is this post?
Disappeared.
Let me find the one. Let's take this one. Wake up Pikachu. So let's find this one. Let's just change this to the one. Select post. And then, yeah, wake up Pikachu. So let's select this one. And remember that I need to write the word happy. So I'm saving this. And I go back to the Pikachu one. And here, when you test it, you have to be to make sure that you are typing. If I type here happy, nothing happens because as you see, I'm writing the post as the page. So you have to
Yeah.
change the person who typed to a personal profile, and then I think you can type also happy like capital or small letters, doesn't matter. And then it takes a few seconds. Again, Facebook fault, not us, but it takes a few seconds, and then you see it pops up a message with post preview and then type coupon to get your coupon code. Okay.
Yeah.
And now if I type coupon, you can guess that probably nothing will happen because we didn't set anything to happen after someone click write a coupon.
Yeah, sure.
So if you go back to the conversation manager, and then in this scenario, you can add a coupon in the beginning of the conversation. So let's just say that we created a new conversation and we'll write here a text, and let's just say great. I'm sorry, great. Here is your coupon. And then let's just say that I want another text just to set the coupon in a different text, just to show you different types of components. And let's take a look and do save. And we will trigger this by specific text because we want the user to type, when he types a coupon, the word coupon in the chat, he will have this conversation pops up, right?
Okay.
So coupon, and let's just save it, and let's just do it again. So now, let's say that I just write happy. I got this message, type coupon to get your coupon code, and then I just write coupon. And this time, because I have a conversation, did I write it? Did I spell it right? C-O-U.
Yeah, I think so.
C-O-U-P-O-N. Let's do test. Okay, let's try it again. Oh, I know why. Because you see, it's really confusing. You have to be on the right page.
Yes.
Otherwise,
Cool.
it will not work.
Cool.
Okay, so I would save it and then type here again. Right. So this is basically already a conversation. Once he typed anything, he's already your subscriber, and you can start any conversation. So, and of course, you can also tag this conversation. So if before I showed you how to tag a button, but sometimes you have this conversation only without buttons, and you still want to tag the user, right? Because in this case, the user got a coupon code, and there's no way to tag him because there's no buttons here. So in this case, if you want to tag him, you have a tag for a conversation. So if you have created the tag before, you can select any tag and then just save it. And then when the conversation starts, the user is automatically tagged to this tag. So that's how it works. I hope it was. I hope
that's cool. I'm gonna have a good play around with the
right
with it, and then any questions I got, I can fire across to you, and
okay,
and we'll go from there. But yeah, no,
right.
that's cool.
So those two are I think it's the most complicated, but the rest is easier. So let's go over it. So subscriber is basically all your subscribers. If you have more than one page, it will show you everything all together. But you can of course filter everything. So you can filter by page. You can filter by tagging. You can filter. With non-tagged, and then you can select any conversation and then broadcast to those people. So you can just click if you want to. You can just select just a few and then broadcast. If you select here a conversation, you can just broadcast. But this is just when you want to broadcast right now, okay? But usually it's not what you want to do. Usually what you want to do is send them a broadcast only certain days after they tagged or after subscription. So in order to do that, you have the sequence. So a sequence is basically, it's like a marketing email list. If you ever worked with, then you have funnels, right? So someone is subscribed, then you send him a welcome message, a welcome email, and then a few days later you send him another email, and then another email. So this works actually the same, only with instead of emails, it's conversations. So each row here at the top is like a funnel. So every funnel can have multiple. If you select one funnel, you can see follow-up rules. So each funnel has rules, and rules means like conversation. It's a rule because it's not just conversation, it's conversation with definitions, like conversation that goes 3 days after
Okay.
it was tagged or after a subscription.
Yeah.
So you can create a funnel here, a sequence, okay, which is a funnel,
Yeah.
and then you can set any funnel to be on and off, and then also on the rules you can set any rule to be on and off. So it's really gives you the flexibility to decide if you want to stop one conversation or one funnel, etc. Now, so let's say that we're creating a new sequence. So let's say that we have already people who are tagged that took a coupon code, and we want to send them 2 weeks after to send them a conversation that will ask them to leave a review, right?
Cool.
So let's give it a name. So let's give it a review request. And then we need to set what kind of trigger. So this one is, there's two types. There's one that goes after tagging and one that goes after subscription. So in this case, because we want to go after people who were tagged with taking a coupon code, for example, then we select trigger of tagged, and then we specify the tag. So this would be any tag that you decided. So this, in this case, would be taking a coupon, for example. So let's make some, let's repeat this, what I'm doing now. So I had a conversation, and in the conversation, I had a button that users clicked on it to get coupons. I tagged the button with the tag name that says taken a coupon. And now I want everyone that were tagged with this tag to be broadcast with a specific conversation after 2 weeks. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right now. So I need to specify the page. This is really, really important. So that doesn't matter right now which one, but for the example. And now we have the conversation here. Oh, sorry, it was, where is it? Here, okay. And now we can see the follow-up rules, it's empty. So this funnel, it's actually active, but there's no rules, so nothing will happen. So we need to create a rule. So the rule we want is to set conversation. So let's say first review request. And then this is just a name. And then if we have a conversation ready, a conversation for requesting a review, we select it. Okay, so these are just the default.
That will have been created in the conversation manager.
Yeah. You need to create in advance the conversation, and then you specify the time. So let's say we want to do it 2 weeks. So we select 2 weeks, and then create, and that's it basically. So now we have a funnel with one conversation that goes 14 days after the user is tagged with taken a review, taken a coupon tag. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to see the details, you can click edit and see all the details. So the tag is defined in the funnel. So you see that this is the funnel. So this sequence goes after taking a coupon. And you can see that you can add more rules. So, okay, so if you have asked him to leave a review, and then you want to send him another message 20 days after, then you can just give it another name, and then again select the conversation. You need to create the conversation in advance, and then select the time frame, and then you will have another conversation that goes 20 days after. Okay, so this is how you work with. Oh, by the way, so you have a conversation, right? Every rule here is a conversation, and in the conversation, you can have another tagging, right? Like, so if you selected a conversation here for a review request, so
Yeah.
let's say you ask him in the conversation, you ask him, would you like to leave a review? And he type yes, and you can tag this yes as well in a different tag, and then you can set another sequence. So only ones who were tagged in this conversation. So you can take users from one sequence to another. Okay, and the way to do it is just tagging them in the conversation. And it doesn't matter if the conversation is triggered from sequence or from broadcast. So every user can jump from sequence to sequence. So this is about sequences. I know it's a lot to to digest. So just hear it again on the record, and
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
sure it will be easier to understand. And if there's questions, of course, you can contact me directly.
Yeah.
One last thing about the menu, because we didn't talk about the menu. Do you know what is a menu on Facebook?
No.
Okay, so a menu on Facebook. If I go to my page, then you see we have here this sandwich that
Okay.
you can click on it, and then we have here blah blah, and some I don't know. I can click it, and then it types blah blah. So you can define. Let's go back to this page, and then let's say that we can set a menu. You can just make any menu you want. There's limitation of Facebook on how many buttons you can have. So let's say you want to I don't know, support or I don't know, you can decide whatever you want. So you can add another sub level. So you can just say if you click support, so you can question, I don't know, and then you can add another button. I'm sorry, another button would be from here. Add a new step. Okay, and then I don't know, question 2. Okay, and then you said you can have up to 3 levels. So let's say that question 2 would lead to a sub level. Okay, and now if I commit the menu to the page, so you have again to select the page, the right page, and then I can commit the menu. Oh, sorry, no, commit the menu. Okay, and now if I go to the page, let's go back to the page. I think I need to refresh it. Yeah, I need to refresh it. Take a second. And now after refresh, you can open the menu, and you should see the menu that you have updated. Let's see. Right, so you see support and the sub-level. If I click it, you see question and question 2.
Cool.
And then I can click on question 2. And then this is the last level that can be. So if I click it, it will just, it's just like a button. Okay. So you can, on every button, if this is not a sub-level, if it doesn't have a sub-level, so this one, for example, doesn't have a sub-level. So for every non-sub-level, you can add actions. So you can also let them subscribe or unsubscribe through the menu.
Oh, cool.
Really
Okay.
nice. So you can just add an action. So you select the action. The action would be to subscribe, for example, or unsubscribe, and then just done. That's it. And now anyone that clicks question will unsubscribe or subscribe. Or you can also trigger conversation. So if you have a conversation that you want to trigger, you can do that as well. So you just click on action, and then select the action would be trigger a conversation. And then let's say that the conversation would be, let's take this one, for example. So let's do done and save and commit, I'm sorry. And then I just hope again that I selected a conversation which is not empty. And then if I go back and I click refresh, then I can click on the question, and then this should trigger a conversation. Let's see it. Sorry, what is it? Okay, so let's see. I click here now on the menu. You see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now support, and it was under the support. And click on the question, and then this should trigger a conversation. Right. So this was probably the conversation that has here is your coupon with a coupon code. So you can trigger, of course, any conversation, but it's really convenient because mostly for subscribe and unsubscribe, but not only. So I use it as well, by the way. As you can see, we have a powered by Quantify Ninja. If you click it, it's not actually trigger a conversation. It takes you to another page, but you can do that as well. So you can set a button that will take you to a URL. So I think if I go here, and this is a button without a sub-level, so I can just add, no, I'm sorry, maybe I think we didn't implement the URL, I'm sorry. But if you need a URL, I can do that for you. So just let me know, because we didn't implement it eventually.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's just so you can't link through to URL just yet from there.
Yep. Yep. So that's about it. I think I covered most of the things.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a good play with it for the rest of the afternoon.
Yep.
Just familiarize myself with it, and then by the end of the week, I kind of want to have a couple of flows done for a few of the clients just to kind of get the ball rolling with getting subscribers. So we'll just run like a basic Facebook campaign, and then get them to enter the flow through that, and then we'll see where it goes, I guess.
Yeah, and of course, and for every question, oh, right, here's the stop share. For every question you have, you can just feel free to contact me, write me or anything. If I'm available, I will, answer right away. If not, then just write me back, and I will do whatever it takes to, makes everything as easy as I can. Cool. And your feedback is really, really important. So if there's something, even if you understand it, but you think it's too complicated or if you think there's a better way, an easier way, just let me know.
Yeah, sweet. Will do.
All right.
All right, man. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing your time with me. That's brilliant. I will definitely be back in touch in the next couple of days. I'll have a play with it, and then obviously Live can watch the video, and we'll probably have questions between this anyway once he's watched the video as well. So, no, it's really cool. Looking forward to getting cracking on it.
Me too. All right.
Awesome, bro. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.